Okay, so for someone who like makes Sims videos or I haven't made that many so far, but I have wanted to do that for a really long time because I think it's really fun. So for someone that like this is I don't know if it's one of my favorite games because I do like a lot of games. I would say it's one of my favorite games in the sense of like time spent in it. Like you can do so much. I like that it's a creative outlet, but it's almost more like a hobby than a game. You know, you could say like, oh, Skyrim's my favorite game, you know, something like that, but like Sims is a favorite game seems more like an activity. You know what I mean? Like not a game, but like a like sculpting or painting. For someone who is at least, I guess, in some way really interested in the games, I really don't like follow that many people. I think I am subscribed to maybe two Sims YouTubers, maybe three. I don't know, but anyway, I've seen two people so far do that thing where you try and build a house with items that you don't like, and I thought that would be really interesting because I don't know, I just think stuff like that is kind of. Usually I see like sim challenges and stuff, and I'm like, that's kind of. I don't really have an interest in that. But that one, I was like, huh, you know, that actually seems. That seems like a cool thing to do. So I just need to find a place where I haven't built anything yet. See, this is all stuff that I've. It's kind of crowded. I like those sun rays. That's kind of interesting. Also, with how much that building stuff is like kind of the thing that I like to do, I'm not very good at building houses. Like I'm not good at the layout thing, you know, like choose like making interesting wall shapes and how the room should look or whatever. Window. Oh, look, it's even off. This is what. There's 3 spaces here and 2 spaces here. Well, I'll leave it actually because it's supposed to be bad. Well, okay. I always make my walls taller, but maybe since it's supposed to be a build that I'm using stuff I don't like, should I also keep only short walls because I don't like short walls? I think they're too short because I am like a clutter person, so like I don't want short walls. I want to have clutter everywhere. Also, I think I'm going to have trouble with this because I kind of like everything. Like I don't actually like everything, but it's like everything I can see working in a certain way. You know what I mean? Like aesthetically, I could see things being fine just for what they are. Kind of like music. Like I do have certain genres of music that I prefer over others, but do I like hate any type of music? I think things are good for what they're good for. You know what I mean? Like I do not like listening to metal music. I do not despite being a person with colored hair or whatever that dresses in an alternative styles. People think I like alternative music. I really do not like metal music. I don't like alternative music. I don't like emo music and like whiny stuff and whatever. Like I like funk and like disco and classical music and stuff, with chiptune music. Like, you know, so I have stuff I like more than other stuff. But at the same time, would I say that like emo music or something is like bad? I think it can be, if that's the aesthetic you're going for, then it can fit. You know, like to me, whether it's music or clothing or styles or like architectural styles or whatever, nothing is like inherently bad. It just depends on what you put it with. Anything can look good if you combine it in the right way. So like I might have trouble figuring out what I don't like because I mean, like, yeah, I don't like these stairs, but could they work in a certain aesthetic of build? Yeah, they could totally go well if this was the aesthetic I'm going for. Yeah, I don't really like these stairs, but if I was building a house that warranted having stairs like that, could it look cool, arranged in the correct way with correct items that make it look good? Yeah. So I'm gonna kind of base my idea of bad as in just like things I don't use a lot, maybe. Because I don't really think anything is bad, but it'll just be like, well, I never use this, and I'm not really into the aesthetic of it on its own, therefore it's bad. I don't know. If that makes sense, I don't know if that makes sense. Anyway, we can't. Oh, yeah, I don't really like that. That's a room. How many rooms? This is too big of a house. Speaking of things I don't like these curved pieces. They start off so big, and then you have to make them small. I wish you could choose how big they were. And maybe you can, and I just don't know how to do it. But sometimes I'm building on a lot with like limited space, and I try and put one of these down, and there's like nowhere to put it down, and it's like, well, if you would just let me make it small, it would fit. There's no design I really, if I had to choose, I don't like industrial stuff. I will say that. But then industrial stuff can be good for certain, depends on the aesthetic you're going for. Can I put a pool here? Oh. I can. Oh, do I have to choose the color of them I dislike the most as well? Because that would be these. I really don't like yellowy wood. That is one thing. Well, but yellowy wood can look okay if it's if it's a certain aesthetic you're going for. Okay, but yeah, so I guess I have to use them in this color. Oh gosh. And I guess I can't use custom content because there's no custom content I don't like, because if I didn't like it, I wouldn't have downloaded it. Look how tall that is. Why did it make it that way? I'm not intentionally trying to make an ugly house. I was just thinking about things that I don't really use very often. I never use these diagonally roofs. What is the thing to make only one side? Okay. I never really use these sidewaysy roofs, so I was thinking I could use that, but it just looks funny. This roof, this is very cool. This is a custom content, except for the shadows on it are not colored, but I wish something like this was actually in the game and it made like colored shadows. That would be very cool. Okay, what's a roof I don't really use? If I had to choose what I think is the worst looking and the worst color of it. Oh no, what is that? It looks like corkboard. It looks like you're gonna pin some postcards up there. Can I please be granted the liberty to just do plain black sidings on these? Because otherwise this is gonna start... I'm still trying to make it look presentable. I know it doesn't seem like that right now because... oh my god, but just give it a minute. I actually don't really use these because I like patterned walls. I like stuff like this. Basically anything modern I don't really use because I like to make more like antique-y. Oh, I definitely don't use Bumpalicious. I think mostly building old stuff I use these stones a lot, but I hate the way that stones are in The Sims. Like they look so... I guess they don't look aged. They're like the weird type of stuff some middle-class person would have above their fireplace, not like castle bricks. They don't look very, like, dungeon castle-y to me. They just look like, oh yes, that's in Margaret's house. It's a accent wall in her kitchen, you know. I can make a corkboard house, honestly. Of course, I mean, is stuff like this, does this even count? That's kind of obvious. Like, who's like, this is my favorite flooring, I put it in all my builds. I actually like these. They're good for like old looking houses. And I think putting like this there, that's just a little bit too much. That would be like, yeah, I could do this. But like, I'm not trying to make it look bad. I like those. I love this door. I love these doors. I like these doors. I like this. I don't know, I like all the doors. These small doors are fine. I don't have a problem with any of them. I guess these, I don't really like barn doors. Oh no, this is totally against the theme. But I want it to look like there's like a continuous, like a long, like, you know, like a really long window going up or something. But it just, there's not windows that match this ugly copper color. I don't know. I don't think that's a very good pattern. It's like, ooh, it's asymmetrical. There's so much asymmetry going on. It's like totally intentional. And this is a giant bathroom. Maybe one of these could be, okay, so like, okay, 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms, 1 little bathroom. I don't make ensuite bathrooms really because I don't get that. Has anyone ever, like, who has an ensuite bathroom? I watch like house hunting shows and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't have a bedroom without an ensuite bathroom. Like, what type of lifestyle have you had? Or you have ensuite bathrooms in every house you live in? I've never had an ensuite bathroom ever. And I don't know many people who have. Maybe that's just me and the pause. But again, it's supposed to look like something someone could plausibly have as a real house. And like, unless it's in a children's room, I just don't see that polka dotty, like this wallpaper being anything that someone would be like, yeah, I put that in my dining room. I love the decorative tile. Like, I like this. I'm sure many people will be like, oh my gosh, this is like the ugliest wall in the game. Like, I like this wall. I love this wall. I like to use these walls. I like this, actually. I like these. I love over-decorated old styles. So I guess if I'm doing a build where it's stuff I usually don't use or like, it's all gonna be really plain stuff. I wish you could do the thing, you know in Sims, was it Sims 3, where you can make this door, the outer door and the inner door, like different colors? I wish you could do that, because my main problem is that a lot of these wallpapers look good in gray, but the gray does not look good with this yellowy wood. Half barn, half frozen yogurt shop. Welcome to my room. Is it bad that I kind of like this, but I don't use it often? So does it still count? Doors in this room, because they kind of go to these fucking doors. That sand, does that count? Like, does the sand count? Of course people don't use sand floors very often in their homes, I don't think. I think that's kind of a given. This shouldn't even be part of the challenge. But the thing is, I like all the tiles. My problem is, usually there's tile, like, on the floor in kitchens, but I love tile. So if it's a things I dislike challenge, I mean, where's the tiles I dislike? I don't dislike any tiles. And I like wood floors, too. The only things I don't like are, like, metal and concrete floors. So that I'm left with, like, okay, do you gonna have a metal floor in your kitchen? I also don't really get, a lot of people build kitchens with, like, islands in them. I don't understand that. I've never had a house with an island in it. Like, I don't get how to even make an island. I know what they're supposed to look like. Ugh. None of these match anything. It looks like the type of light that you would have, like, in an interrogation room. Now, this is where it's gonna get hard, because I don't feel any particular way towards any appliances. There's not really one I don't like more. I guess I don't like this one. Like, this doesn't even match. That's what I never got about this. This wood, it doesn't match. Part of this is just The Sims. Like, this is dark and this is not dark. Why is this yellowy and this is, like, not yellowy and then this is yellowy? Like, look, it's just the lighting is different. What the hell on earth? Imagine this is, like, your kitchen. I would stay the hell out of the kitchen always. Now, I actually do kind of like this one, because I like the colors of it. I like this one. I like the colors of this. I like this, like, pastel yellow with pink and blue and stuff. Oh yeah, there needs to be a sink in the kitchen. Oh yeah, that's what was gonna be right here, but then I got tired of right there because it was evil. I just set this bathroom up. And, like, what about toilets? I mean, I don't have, like, a toilet that I particularly don't like. I just don't have many opinions about toilets in the game. Again, I can find stuff I don't like, but none of the stuff that I dislike really matches. Also, in the reflection, this is a bright blue window, and then in reality, it's not that color. I love the aesthetic of this one, but I don't use it often because it's so big. So maybe that could count. So I think I don't dislike dogs. I've just had bad experiences with, like, dogs that are untrained. That are just like, hey, I'm gonna jump on you and slobber all over you and, like, push you onto the floor. What's up? And I'm like, please do not. But, like, I don't dislike dogs. I think it's just, I have known a lot of people, the dogs I've been around are, like, I don't know, untrained dogs or something. Like, can't you train dogs not to jump on people? So I think, anyway, but since I'm not, like, a super dog person, I guess I'll use the little dog thing, even though I think succulents are cute. Dislike any curtains. The only thing I don't like about the curtains in the game is that there's such limited options and all the colors suck. Like, aesthetically, I think it looks weird to have rugs everywhere, but then practically, I mean, this is like a cold floor. I think you would want to have rugs everywhere. Now this one I like of it. I think this is a cool pattern. I never use this light, I guess because I don't think about it, but I kind of like this pattern. Don't like wood that is, oh geez, that's like a rainbow. I don't like wood that's that textured. Like, I like the aesthetic of wood, but not this type of wood where it's so, like, it looks clashing, you know, there are like 5 different types of wood all together in this one thing, and it kind of looks strange. I really like things where there's too much stuff going on, so I don't know why in some cases things being non-matchy and cluttered bother me, and in other cases they're okay, but this is just one of the types of non-matchy things that's like, ew. Such a process. Everyone whose videos like this that I watch, they're like 10-minute videos or something. I don't know why. I guess I'm not like a fast builder. I have to like sit and like think about everything a lot. It's like, are you kidding me? I'm going way too. Let me shift the table a millimeter. Let me shift the table back another millimeter. Like, this is gonna take me a million years. Like, the cow is holding the pots. Basically, most of the base game stuff I don't use. Like, I got custom content clutter for a reason. It's because I don't like the base game clutter. I use these all the time. This is my type of thing, but I actually don't use it often because I don't like the colors and designs it comes in. They're just, I don't know, a lot of them just don't ever match with what I'm trying to do. Okay, and I do use this sometimes, so maybe it technically doesn't count as something I don't use, but I do always like to put stuff on the back of the toilet. Basically, I don't use any wall lights except for the old looking ones, because I'm choosing the ones I never use, and it's pretty much all of them. Literally, when I'm doing wall lights, the only ones I use are this one and this one, and that's it. I don't think I use any of the other ones. This one is, like, interesting. I kind of like the design of it in the sense that I like that it has shelves built in. Look, I love multi-purpose things. I don't care if it's the ugliest thing in the world. If you can do multiple things with it, like it's a shelf and a lamp combined, I'm like, that's kind of cool. This is one of my favorite lamps stylistically, but it comes in such bad colors. Like, I can never find a good color to use it in that matches with what I'm doing with it, and I hate that because it's perfect. I love the design. It's my favorite lamp. I don't like this because I don't like taking real-world things into the game world. Like this, do the Sims know they're Sims? Why is there Sims Plum Bob merchandise in the game? Are they aware? Are they self-aware? Do they know they're in a game? Do they know this is like one of the logos of the game that they're in? I would say 75% of this is just stuff that I don't use often or never have a purpose for, or it doesn't match anything, and then maybe 25% of it is stuff that I legitimately look at it and go, I don't really like the way that looks. I actually don't use this very much just because I hate again, the books are way too bright. Like, it makes it where it doesn't match anything else in the room. Now, I do actually have a bit of a qualm with this. Why is it so long? Why is this so huge? Beside anything, and it's just like weirdly, like it looks like it sticks out so far. I feel like it should be like this. So but I don't hate it. Like, I love the design of it. I think it's so cute, and I love cat paws. Well, I know they could be dog paws too. I love paws. I think it's very cute, but I mean, maybe it's supposed to add to the architecture. It's an architectural element. See, like, the normal plants look so weird next to these plants. These neon green plants. Now, I think the problem that I have with making, like, fancy-looking places is they're always very minimalist. Like, this looks like a weird rich person with no tastes house. And usually rich people with no taste have these, like, barren houses that look really clean and minimalist and, like, sleek, and stuff is, like, metal and shit, and they have concrete floors or whatever. And I'm very bad at that because I'm a clutter person. I love to make cluttered, antique, like, old scholar, like, some weird wizard tower looking interiors. And because of that, I cannot just not put stuff somewhere. I'm like, oh my gosh, that corner has nothing in it. I need to add 5 things. Same damn thing right next to each other with their different colors. Why is this? Fix the lighting system. What is going on with it? Like, okay, if I put this light, like, directly on top of them, they almost become the same color. So, this big industrial dookie light right in the middle of their room. I think I'm almost done. Oh gosh, I didn't do any landscaping. Ah! Maybe I won't. Damn it, I need some stuff to put on the walls in here, but everything is ugly. Ugh, no. That looks ugly too. It's like I need something of a very particular size to go right here, and nothing is the right size. Okay, I don't dislike this plant, but you have to allow me, because I have to put something on top of here. And I cannot find anything at all. So I'm just gonna put this plant. See, this is another thing. I don't like this because it brings the real world into The Sims. Do the Sims in universe know who, whatever, what's that thing called? Baby Yoda? Do they know what it is? Do they? Did this exist? Because, I mean, think of the implications. Okay, if this exists in universe, then Star Wars, isn't that what it's from, exists in this universe. You know what I mean? This top is so plain. I wish there was a slot to put stuff up here. I always have to move it up here by myself. Oh, it's hovering. You know how my microphone is set up? It's just like... I have a box of tea. You know the boxes that tea comes in? And then I have a $10 microphone from eBay. And I just prop it up on the box of tea to make it a little bit higher so that it's closer to where my mouth is. And that's all I do. I don't know, man. I really don't care. I don't care what the outside looks like. I'm tired of doing this. It's been a long time. This is taking me like hours. Okay, it looks very strange because I didn't actually bother really landscaping anything. I put like 3 trees and I half-assed a little tiny garden in front or something, but I really didn't do much because first of all, this is on a lot that's way too big for it, and second of all, I just don't care because the house is ugly anyway. So this is the finished house. Again, don't know, no idea what's going on with the roof. The weird cork board, stick a postcard up on it roof, but this is what it looks like. I do kind of like I wish there was a continuous long window that went all the way up instead of me having to make that out of a bunch of smaller windows, because the thing that makes it weird is the fact that the windows don't match. I don't know, but I mean, and then we have the skylight thing, which is, ugh. I'll start with outside. Outside there's a swimming pool on the deck. I don't know why. I thought it would be cool in the kitchen. See, originally I was planning to have like these big like wall length windows and then you could like see out into the water, and I thought that would be cool. When I thought about it, it's like I actually like those big wall length windows so I couldn't use them because I like them. So I had to use these, and so it kind of ruined the effect of like having cool water you can look out onto. But anyway, a swimming pool with a little turtle in it. And this, now listen, I don't actually dislike these. I like the concept of this. I like the concept of this. I like the concept of this. The thing I do not like about them is that the colors are so bright. Like flower, mostly the colors of the green. Because they're not neon. Like, look at what this plant looks like. And like what some of these plants look like. And then look at the green on these plants. This whole house is not only stuff I don't like, but it's stuff that I either don't really like the style of or that I don't use very often. But there's not many objects that I actually, like, honestly in earnest just completely dislike. These chairs I don't use very often, and this table that I don't really like the style of, and I guess that's like an outdoor seating area. And then here is a place to sit on the deck. Out here there's another deck, and it has another one of these things, and a chair, and this thing, which I don't really dislike this thing, I just don't use it often, and I don't really dislike these candles, I just don't like that the color doesn't change. Also, these should be black so it matches better. But like the color of this doesn't change, only the color of the box changes, and I wish you could change the color of this. So that's the only reason that I don't like them. And then we'll go into the, oh god, this looks like a hotel. Seriously? Then we go inside, which looks like the lobby of a weird hotel. And you have a little seating area, I guess, for like when you first come in to take your shoes off or something. And this weird thing at the end of the hallway. Now, half of this doesn't match because it's hard to find things that I don't use very often or don't like. And it's even harder to match all of those things together. So some of the matching here is going to be kind of wonky, and that's just how it's going to be. So then this, I don't know how to decorate barren spaces. I made this house way too big. And then you have this horrible, disgusting looking dining area. And I don't know about this. I mean, I don't have many. I use flowers all the time. I have very plant heavy build, so there's not really many plants and flowers and stuff for the middle of table decoration that I don't use or dislike. So I just chose this because I don't use it very often, even though it doesn't match anything else in the room. And so you have this, and then this plain, boring one mirror. A lot of this is pretty barren, like way more barren than I usually do. And then like a cabinet or something. And then from here you go into the kitchen. This is the kitchen. I tried to add a little bit of clutter, but there's not a lot of clutter in the game to begin with. And then also there's not a lot of clutter that I don't use or dislike. So there's not much. It's just this. And then at least from here, you know, you can see out to the pool, and it's kind of cool. Like, oh, I can watch the fountain, and the little mugs and stuff, and the cow holding pots, I guess. And then from there, you go into the living room, which also, the colors are just crazy. I don't know how to make anything match together. I don't know. This is totally out of place, but I needed something on the wall right here, but the only stuff that looked okay on the wall was stuff that I liked. So it was hard to find, out of the things that I dislike, something to put on the wall. This is the closest because it's gray. So I thought, okay, well, there's gray in the room, so maybe gray, I don't know. Just, again, very barren. I want to put books and clutter and like a plant here and stuff like that, but I didn't have a lot of stuff that I didn't like that I didn't already use yet. So it's very, very barren. Very nothing is here. I would put like books here. I want some drinks or something so it looks like a lived-in space. Like, this is super barren. Also didn't put curtains because I imagine maybe these are the type of people where they just don't put curtains on their windows. You know, people who just don't have curtains on windows, like unless it's a bathroom or a bedroom, but the rest of their house is just these open giant windows, and you're like, how do you live? I've been to houses like that before. I'm like, seriously, you just have open windows? Like, don't you get scared at night looking out into the straight darkness? Like, I can't believe some people just like have just windows that are open. That's what I just thought that would look better. So this is that room. Gosh. And then we have the giant bathroom over here. Very weirdly laid out. I don't know how to lay out giant spaces because I guess I'm not used to being in giant spaces. I've never lived in like a really, really huge modern house or something, so I don't really get it, but this is like a super bath to soak in. You can watch TV while you're in the bath and drink wine and stuff like that. And then also a shower if you don't feel like taking a full bath and you just want things to be quick. And then, you know, some cabinets and a sink and a little toilet. I tried to match things to the wallpaper, like kind of, but I don't know. Go upstairs. And this is also like a hotel lobby. It's very plain, very boring, very barren. It's just brown and black and gray. And a fountain? I don't know. I was like, well, these are fancy people, so maybe they'd have like a fountain. I'm not sure. That's that space, and you have the outdoor deck that you already saw. And then in here is this tiny little bathroom with a totally disorganized style. It's got a weird green and brown shower. So it's green and brown and white, I guess. I do like that this is on the toilet. I think that's kind of cool, but everything else is just, this is weird. It doesn't go together. And the barn doors. Also, I wanted to put like a cool picture here or like something kind of in between the stairways or like a sculpture right here, but I couldn't be bothered, so I did not. And then this room, which is, I don't know. A lot of the stuff that I don't use very often in builds is like all the bright poppy kind of stuff. Now, I don't actually dislike these. I just don't use them very often because the flip-flops don't really go with anything, and they don't come in, I mean, they do kind of come in like this neutral color, but it's like the flip-flops. What is the flip-flop gonna match, you know? So I like them though. I think they're cool. I just don't use them very often. So this is, and like this, I like the cat version of it. I just don't use this very often. So it's not really all stuff that I dislike. It's mostly just stuff I don't have a use for, or that it's like hard to fit into the type of builds that I do. Since I mostly do like old Victorian houses and stuff. And also this is the room that I did last. So I was kind of just like, you know what? I don't care. But so this is like the bright poppy room. Maybe some really creative person lives in here. The design scheme is, I guess, gray, green, orange, and white, and yellow a little bit, and pink. Gray, green, orange, white, yellow, and pink are kind of themes throughout the whole thing. I don't know, like, of course, it's not my thing, but also, I feel like I made it go together at least a little bit. You know, like, it would be a very eccentric person's room, but you could still see, like, yeah, that could be somebody's room, I guess. Like, somebody with a really eclectic, bright, poppy taste and stuff and whatever, but still, I guess it could be someone's room. The last room is this one, which is like a darker, maybe a goth, it's a goth person's room, but like mod goth, not Victorian goth, the cool goth. So that's this. They have posters on the walls. They have their like shoes here. Some of the lamps I never use. This stuff I don't really use very often. I use the Kleenex boxes all the time. That's kind of a given. I really don't like the way this eyes look. Oh my god. I didn't notice that before. Man, I don't like that. I want to get out of this room. This closet I never use. These things. I never put guitars down because they kind of look too modern for most of the stuff that I build. This and that, whatever. And then they have like a little personal office or something, which I didn't really decorate much because I don't really know what to put in it. Or I could find some stuff to put in it, but it would be stuff that I use all the time or that I like. So it's like hard to find decorations that fit the criteria. But and this desk, and I love book piles, but I hate that all the book piles in the game are such bright colors. Why are they always like, where are the plain brown or black books or something? Like, these make it where it's really hard to put in a space and have them match. Also, this should be that color. Okay. So that's their, like, personal home office, like, painting space or whatever. And then this is the deck they can go out on. So that's this whole messed up house with so much barren space that's, like, not being used. And I don't know. And it looks like a weird hotel in some places, but this is the best I could do. I tried with the limitations that I was given. Oh yeah, there's metal floors in the kitchen. I forgot about that. Like, who? Night, it looks like this. There are a few lights outside. I don't think the rooms look much different at night, really. I do like that the moonlight comes down through the ceiling thing. At night it almost looks even more, it's very dimly lit, like a creepy hotel. It went from just being like a boring, annoying hotel to like a legitimately freaky looking place, but I don't know. That's me trying to build a house using stuff that either I don't like the style of or that I don't use very often. And I guess that's that. Thank God I never have to do this again, and I can go back to using all my cool custom content and all my cool Victorian old-looking items.